Hello, hello. So, hello everybody. And still we are waiting for Risto. He tries to connect and Oliver is helping him. He probably will send once more a link to him. And let's hope that we will have Risto on the panel. Before we start, I would like to thank for everyone who have joined this event, especially when today is the last day of the year, and of course you have a lot of interesting things to do and to celebrate this very special day with your friends, family. And I also want to congratulate all who are participating in the main event, in the challenge, cybersecurity challenge, because it's very important. And yeah, if you are participating, so you know why cybersecurity is important. I don't need to tell you about. And let me introduce a little bit while we're waiting, Risto, what is Legal Hackers? Because here you can see Arina, she is legal hacker, and myself, and also Risto from Estonia, he is legal hacker too. So what is Legal Hackers? So we are like the biggest network of, let's say, or movement which has like more than 200 chapters in around the world. And what we do, so we are connecting such people as like innovative lawyers who likes to solve problems, let's say, in very creative ways. Also some policy professionals, technologists, designers, academics, students, and other enthusiasts. And this movement started in 2012 in New York, and now it is spread around the world. And like in some countries, there are like a lot of chapters. In Baltic countries, we have only one chapter per country. And what we do, so we are not like cybersecurity, let's say, experts or researchers. We understand what is hacker, so we are like inspired by hacker ethic from the 50s. So we think that open source, open culture movements are very important, and we want to share this openness with all of others. And we are not like a private company or association or political advocacy group. No, so just we are enthusiasts who want to change something, and we like, let's say, law and technology. And yeah, I can see Risto is here. Hello, Risto.
Yes, hello everyone. Sorry for being late to this connection. I had mailbox full of all kind of links, and I was trying to figure out which one works.
Okay, no problem. So I just started to talk a bit about what is Legal Hackers, and I also wanted to present you Risto. So Risto was that guy who met me in Tallinn in one, let's say, seminar, and he asked me why Lithuania has no legal hackers, chapter of Legal Hackers. And I decided why not, and that's how Legal Hackers was established in Lithuania. So Risto, you are, as you know, Arina also is a student of yours, and Latvia also has like a fresh chapter. So you are like that probably godfather of Legal Hackers. So what is Legal Hackers for you?
Legal Hackers is, for me, just a bunch of nice people, friendly community of lawyers, designers, IT experts, cybersecurity experts, all kind of people that want to come together, do something great, develop some new projects, discuss legal issues, how it connects to technology, and so on. But a few words about Estonia Legal Hackers. We have been taking quite slow over the past year or so due to the pandemic, but indeed we have been actually operating some 5 or 6 years already. And when we started, there were very few chapters all across Europe, but now Legal Hackers is virtually in every country. Probably, as you mentioned, it's all around the world. There are lots of chapters, and I'm really happy that now we have also people from both Latvia and Lithuania, so we can also hopefully do more joint projects cross-border in the future. But yeah, so anybody is welcome to join Legal Hackers. It's an open community, and we are open to discuss any issues with intersection of law and technology. Yeah.
And thank you. And Arina, for you, how you have found Legal Hackers?
Yeah, hello everyone. So my name is Arina Stivrina, and Martynas, thank you for the few words about Legal Hackers. And as you have said already, I have found Legal Hackers through Risto. I was studying IT law in the University of Tartu, and similarly as it was with you, Risto said to me and my colleague Liva, why there is no Legal Hackers in Latvia. And so here we are. Yeah, a few years later, we have a fresh chapter in Latvia, Riga, which is called Legal Hackers Riga, and we are a bunch of lawyers and a few IT specialists. However, we have a diversity issue currently because we are all girls. So guys, you are very welcome to join us. Our currently mostly female collective. And yes, we are organizing events and discussing issues which are on the intersection of law and technology. And generally, we are a very friendly bunch, and you are welcome to join.
Thank you. That's fantastic. Okay, so already, as you know, a little bit what we are doing, we would like to move to this topic of the event. And so we are like representing 3 different countries, so Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. And what we will try to do today, maybe to discuss and to find if there are any like differences among countries regarding hacking and regulation of it, and what maybe we can find what is the best country to hack or not to hack, what you can hack or what you can't hack, and so on. And maybe we will try to look for some answers. And yeah, if you have any questions, so please try to send us. I think you can do it. And if you will see later this video, so you can also type in a comment section, and maybe we will find your questions and we will try to answer. Okay,
and
so
yes, and if I may add, we are definitely not promoting here anybody to hack any country or a private company or organization. What we are going to discuss is what are the legal requirements and how to do ethical hacking. So yeah, just for the sake of clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Risto, for that. Yes, and right. So when we are discussing hacking in this, mentioning hacking in this discussion, we really do mean ethical hacking.
Yeah. So we talk about those white hackers, let's say. or Christmas hackers, or whatever you can call it, but those who want to create something good. And yeah, and why we decided to make this topic, because there were problems. That some, let's say, cybersecurity experts who wanted to help to the government, later they were prosecuted. So of course, we want to make clear what you can do and what you can't, not to have like problems here. So maybe, I don't know, guys, Arina, Risto, maybe you would like to introduce yourself. What is your experience with, I don't know, cybersecurity? Maybe you have, I know that Arina, you are, and Risto, you are lawyers, yeah. You have clients, so maybe you had some clients before. So how you are connected with cybersecurity?
Okay, unless Arina wants to start, I can take over. Yeah, myself, I'm indeed a lawyer. I've been working extensively with various technology companies, also companies active in cybersecurity field. But I would say that my own main connection to cybersecurity relates to data protection and privacy. And specifically, since we work a lot with GDPR compliance, and there is a significant part of it is related to technical and organizational measures that companies need to take to have the personal data protected. So in many projects, we have cooperated with cybersecurity experts, and this has also helped us to learn more about cybersecurity, as it's like very, very closely connected to data protection and privacy. So that's primarily our connection.
Thanks.
Yeah, so my name is Arina Stivrina, and I am an attorney. I'm working in the law firm TGS Baltic, and I am heading a technology and data protection practice group there, and working primarily with data protection. And this brings my focus also extensively on cybersecurity issues. I also have education in IT law, and also I have amazing work experience with hacking related cases, data breaches, and also some hacking related criminal proceedings. So this is my also area of interest personally for me, and we'll discuss it later in the details, some examples from Latvia. And on to you, Martynas.
Okay, myself, I was a lecturer for more than 10 years in university, and I had some subjects for lawyers, cyber crime, and also I was working for the government, and I was responsible for cybersecurity of one register, of legal acts register. So yeah, I had some training, and I like to read about cybersecurity, so let's say I'm more enthusiastic, and I don't provide any service for the companies, but anyway, I have organized like quite a lot of events connected with cybersecurity, so that's how I'm connected. Okay, so maybe we can switch to the first let's say question which we decided like to discuss. So let's imagine that I'm cybersecurity let's say researcher. So what are my rights in every country, and what can I do? What are the limits? What can I do and what I can't? Can I try just like to hack, search for bugs in any like private or public information system, like devices, controllers, and so on? If I do so, can I just leave a message for the admin that you're hacked, look for the bug or something like that. How should I act? I mean, is it something similar that I don't know, I work in a street and I see a lot of doors and I have like locks. Can I try to open those locks? Or I don't know, because of doing such things, I just could be shot, prosecuted, and whatever. Or is it, I don't know, like a gray area, like I can do much more than in a real life? So I don't know, who wants to start with this question?
Again, I think I can start. So basically, I think your question also relates to responsible disclosure, which you will probably come into later. But first, I would just briefly comment the regulatory background in Estonia. So basically, we have several different provisions under the Estonian Penal Code which relate to computer-related crimes. For example, we have a crime which relates to obtaining illegal access to computer systems, interference with computer data, hindering of functioning of computer systems, and preparation of computer-related crime. So long story short, those activities that you just mentioned, that trying to test somebody's system, whether you can break in, do something there, and then notify, might easily fall under a criminal liability. So obviously, and for all those provisions that I mentioned very briefly right now, we have actually potential criminal liability with imprisonment ranging from up to 3 years to up to 5 years. And just to take the example under Estonian Penal Code about obtaining illegal access to computer systems, then 3 years is just for the activity as such. When this is done with elimination or avoidance of means of protection. But now there are also some aggravating circumstances. For instance, if this act causes damage to the target company or organization, then it might end up with this up to 5 years imprisonment. If you access something containing a state secret, classified foreign information, stuff like that, or if you hack a system, computer system of a vital sector, that might also be deemed as an aggravating circumstance and may end up to a penalty of up to 5 years imprisonment. So first of all, these are these criminal acts, and you should be really cautious about what you're doing. I don't know. I think I would not go into this responsible disclosure at this point. I would give floor now to Arina. Arina can comment about the Latvian situation, but maybe just to add on top of what they said about the penal code is, of course, we also have in Estonia a cybersecurity act, but this is primarily about the implementation of the Networks and Information Security Directive. And this sets forth obligations, including notification of cyber incidents for certain companies and institutions that go under that law. For instance, those that are involved in the relevant sectors of economy that are relevant for the functioning of the society: electricity, hospitals, banking, and so on, and some digital services. So that's not really regulated from the responsible disclosure perspective. But yeah, I think since our time is limited, I would give floor to Arina here.
Thank you, Risto. So similarly to Estonia, hacking might be a criminal offense in Latvia, and you could go to prison for hacking. If you access a computer system which is protected and you overcome these protections, then it is qualified as hacking. And then further, it depends, what do you do in this system? Because what the difference from Estonian regulation is that in Latvian criminal law, in order to be criminally prosecuted, Such computer crimes must fulfill substantial harm criteria. Basically, if you do substantial crime with your hacking, then your actions could be criminally prosecuted and you might end up in prison. What is substantial harm? Basically, it is a material damage of 5,000 euros, or it might be also less material damage and harm to interests protected by law. This is a very wide term, interest protected by law, and there is no established practice how do law protecting agencies and police and prosecutors interpret it. Yes, so this is still a very open area to interpretation. Interestingly, what this substantial harm criteria does is that it makes it a little bit harder, I guess, to prosecute such computer crimes than it might be, for example, in countries where such substantial harm criteria is not included in the criminal law. I'll give you one example. We had one very famous hacking case. I think it was already many years ago, where a state tax authority was hacked by a white hat hacker. The hacking was performed with an aim to publish some information which was not disclosed by state authorities, which the hacker believed should have been public, should have been available to public. And so he hacked the state tax authority system using the vulnerability. He found himself and he published the documents. And he was criminally prosecuted, but interestingly, he was convicted later, but not for the hacking. He was convicted for revealing commercial secrets of a company, because he published some documents which belonged to the company in which were included in this state tax authority system. So what does it mean? It means that our prosecution authorities could not prosecute him for hacking because they could not prove the substantial harm. So this is one example from Latvia. And yes, referring to what Risto had already commented, we also have the Cybersecurity Act in place, but it is primarily dealing with the implementation of NIS2 directive. And so it has, however, one provision related to disclosure of vulnerabilities, but it is not really like in a legal sense regulating the process of how to disclose. So this is how things are in Latvia. And Martynas, how things are with Lithuania? Should anyone hack in Lithuania?
Thank you, Arina. So very interesting. I thought, is it like the same when you go on a street and you find a bicycle not locked? Can you say, I just found it and take, like, it belongs to nobody? And is it like similar if, I don't know, I can see information system which is not protected, like, I don't know, like a lot of bugs, not updated and so on. And I don't know, maybe even not myself, but my computer bot just, he's doing the job and he copies the data. So maybe I don't do any harm for the company. I just, you know, copy the data and that's it. And can you see like some problems, because you have to prove that harm of like 5,000 in Latvia? Or what do you think? Or maybe some, I don't know, really like cyber crimes, so they cannot be started to prosecute because of this limitation? What do you think?
So as you can see already, the police is coming, so as you can hear probably. So well, actually you might want to avoid copying data. right? Because as I have said, that this substantial harm criteria might also be interpreted as harming interests protecting by law, and this is an open term of the law, and prosecution might as well interpret it as let's say doing harm to by disclosing personal data, by acquiring personal data, or by acquiring, for example, if you're copying data protected by commercial secret regulation, then it might also fall under that umbrella. So in other words, to summarize, if you are hacking to disclose vulnerabilities, just remember that you are in what we call a little bit gray area. It is not highly and precisely regulated. Okay, so you have to be very careful. You should do only the necessary minimum. Do no harm. Preferably disclose the vulnerability through cert.lv. And preferably also avoid hacking resources which are related in any way to security of Latvian state, because this carries the heaviest sentences in terms of imprisonment.
Okay, that's great. In Lithuania, so it's quite similar. We have also in a criminal code some, let's say, restrictions and protection of some goods. And even if you copy the data, it's already the violation. And what was very interesting, I also would like to respond to Risto when he talked about responsible disclosure, because we have in Lithuania quite like a huge SWIFT, and we have since this summer the new law which let's say introduced the responsible disclosure. So when we talk about let's say civil hackism, or those citizens who wants like to help for the government agencies to find out the security bugs, then let's say before summer of this year, so everyone who tried to do this, let's say, could be prosecuted. And we had like let's say one very well-known in Lithuania case when one cybersecurity researcher from quite a known company, he discovered in 2015 like a huge problems in our e-health system. So e-health system, it has like a lot of data which is very sensitive for all of us regarding our health. And yeah, it was a problem, but he discovered these problems, and he gave all the information to the company, to the government company, which is responsible for this information system. And the problem was that in 3 years, nothing has changed. And he became like mad, like, come on, like 3 years, it's enough time, let's say, to fix the problems. And in 2018, he disclosed that information to the public. And after that, okay, there was like a huge reaction in mass media, but the problem was that the police started to prosecute him, and they said that you violated criminal code. But in general, the most funny thing that what he was doing, he actually was doing some, let's say, well, investigation steps or creative investigation steps in his own computer. So disconnected from the system, but not, let's say, in the system. So that's maybe another point for maybe more interested for, I know, criminal lawyers. But anyway, finally, like we came to understanding that we need like a new law of responsible disclosure. And since this summer, we have this new law of responsible disclosure is in a part of Cybersecurity Act. So but still there is some rules what you have to do if you want to disclose this information. And I would like you a little bit to read for you what are those rules. So first of all, like you cannot do a harm to that information system which you are, let's say, investigating. And if you know, let's say, that there could be some bug in the system, you need only to check for this bug, but not like, you found one bug and then you think maybe there are some more. So you have, when you found that bug, you have immediately to stop and to report it. And you must to report like in 24 hours. Otherwise, it will be a violation and you can be prosecuted according to criminal code. And if you are looking for this bug more than 24 hours, then you have to report your findings every 24 hours. So if you have found nothing, you still you have to report that I was trying to look for some bug, but I still haven't not found it. What is more, that you cannot copy any, let's say, data. You cannot, I know, sniff the data. So actually, there are quite a lot of limitations, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's a bit a problem, because like real hackers, like those black hat hackers, or let's say foreign countries institutions, they maybe have no limits for it, and that's, I see, as a weak point of the regulation. And also you cannot like try to guess passwords like brute force and so on, and you cannot use social engineering. So the law don't allows you to do it. And what else? So you cannot to disclose this information, except so first you have to report in 24 hours to that government agency which is responsible for the system, or we have like a national cybersecurity center. So they have like a form, everything is written quite in easy form, and it's easy to report for them. And if you you can choose, or you have report to both of them or only to cybersecurity center. So if you haven't reported to government agency, then you know the center will report instead of you. And only after 90 days you can report you can disclose this bug to the public, only after 90 days. If the, let's say, the public institution decides and fix that bug, they can to write you that you can disclose the bug earlier. But those are the limitations. And more interesting that still the law says that every institution can add like some specific rules to that responsible disclosure. And I would like a little bit to look to our municipality, Vilnius municipality rules. So what they do, it's very interesting that they decided to make like a problem hack you if you can. But the interesting thing that it's named in English, but the information on how you can participate in it, it's written in only Lithuania. But of course, you can use translation tools and to find out the information. But the differences are specific if you want to hack Vilnius municipality, then you have to write before doing this agreement like non-disclosure agreement, and like that you would like to participate in a program, like hacking program. So before even you think about doing this, you have to do some like bureaucracy steps. So those are, let's say, main issues. But that is very nice that finally we have something. Because before the summer, so everyone who tried to hack the government system, he was, let's say, he could be punished and go to the jail, and but not by doing harm, only by discovering bugs and even, you know, disclosing it. Already it was like a crime before this summer. So maybe you guys can share, do you have some like regulation, or I know some you already said that you don't, but maybe you're planning, maybe government is planning to have some regulation in your country?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I continue from with Latvian information. We don't have a specific disclosure regulation. However, the nice thing is that just recently on 14th of September, our government has adopted coordinated a process of coordinated disclosure of vulnerability for state institutions and municipalities. Why? And it is not mandatory for state institutions and municipalities, but it is what it does, it unties their hands so they are free to decide on how they will deal with it, of course according to this process which has been adopted by the government. But basically what they can do now, they can adopt a policy on vulnerability disclosures and proceed further according to this. And hopefully it will help to avoid such situations as one mentioned in the report of the Ministry of Defense, where one researcher has found a vulnerability in state institutions system, and he wrote to state institution and said that hey, I have found the vulnerability and I am ready to disclose it, but I also want to have some remuneration for my work. And what happened next basically was that state institution reported the researcher to the police, and the police initiated criminal proceedings for extortion. And currently this case is in litigation, right? So well, hopefully this coordinated process adopted by the government will in the future help to avoid such situations, because currently there are very few companies who have adopted, even in private sector, are very few examples of responsible disclosures policies. Some examples are Air Baltic, a national airline. It has one published in their website, and also Latvian national lottery monopole company, Latvian Lotto. It also has such policy published, but such examples are currently very rare, and we will see how how this coordinated process will unroll with state institutions and municipalities. But currently, unless the company has published the responsible disclosure policy, it would be recommended to notify not directly the company or state institution, but through Cert.lv, which is an institution responsible for the process of disclosing vulnerabilities in Latvia. So this is how things are in Latvia. And Risto, what is happening in Estonia in this regard?
Yes, so in Estonia, we don't have specific regulation on responsible disclosure. I have discussed with some cybersecurity people and lawyers familiar with those topics. I have been informed that there have been discussions about this, and I know some cases from media. For instance, there was adding to your examples from Latvia and Lithuania, there was actually a rather significant cyber incident in Estonia back in the spring, back in summer, where the document photos of about 300,000 Estonians were leaked from a service related to the state information systems. So after that, what became apparent, there was a guy who allegedly is related to this incident, approached the state information's authority, the Riigi Infosüsteemi Amet in Estonia, and allegedly was asking 4,000 euros, or there was some discussion about getting a bug bounty of 4,000 euros for revealing some further or additional vulnerabilities in state information systems. Again, allegedly, I don't know, the details are part of what the media has reported. There was discussion with this individual where the state information systems authority was even considering paying this bug bounty to this individual in response for him to disclose those vulnerabilities. But again, this case ended up, according to media, in a kind of a threatening situation, or kind of an extortion situation potentially, which means that State Information Systems Authority backed up, and they actually decided not to pay any bug bounty for this disclosure. And of course, as I said, this major incident back from summer of this document photographies, 300,000 individuals. This has now sent to police, and it's a criminal matter. Latest news says it's in the prosecutor's office, and that concerns the same individual that was asking for a reward of disclosing additional vulnerabilities. So there have been these cases, and that there is also some indication that there might be some bug bounty programs in the future from Estonian state authorities, but so far I'm not aware of any. Now, when it comes to private companies, then as Arina said, I would also recommend in Estonia to rather not, if you really are aware of vulnerabilities, or then not go directly to the company or organization, but notify the national cyber unit, which is the CERT-EE, which is basically a department of the State Information Authority, so that they can escalate this and maybe send this information further to the relevant company or organization. Other than that, this is again not widely practiced thing in Estonia. There are only very few companies I'm aware of having some sort of responsible disclosure policies. But for instance, an example is Estonian company Bolt, which has its own website this kind of policy, where they have also defined what is the scope, like what kind of applications can be checked for vulnerabilities, and there are specific rules what have to be followed in order to report them about the vulnerabilities. They also say that they have a bug bounty program, but they don't disclose that on their website. So you have to get in contact with the company directly to have more information about that. But what really needs to be done is that if anybody is looking for any vulnerabilities, it's important to understand that there might be criminal liability for certain activities. But if you want to be on a safe side, then also always check the relevant policies with the company, such as I made the example Bolt here, what they accept, what they do not accept, and then try to follow those policies. And there might be a bug bounty program available. Another option is to go look for those well-known global platforms like HackerOne, which also disclose information about different bug bounty programs of major tech companies and so on. And basically to the ethical hacking through these kind of availabilities. That's briefly about the situation in Estonia.
Thank you, Risto. I have also a note from Oliver that CTF has resumed now, so you can, those who are participating, you can go back and you can later come and follow us in the video, which you will find in Facebook pages. Anyway, so time is going fast, and now I think we will try to move a little bit maybe to questions. And of course, if we want to add something, it's good time now to add. So I will try to start from Mick question. So he asked, could the Lithuanian researcher not have reported it through NKSE, so it's National Cyber Security like CERT organization. So that researcher, he had reported directly to that government agency, which was, let's say, responsible for it. And yeah, maybe in the beginning there was maybe I'm not like 100% sure, but later, actually last year, he went and he had like a huge discussion with officers which works there, and he disclosed some problems to them. But yeah, at the moment he officially disclosed that information to the government agency, which was responsible. And the problem was that in 3 years, that agency didn't started to fix the problems. So that was the main part. And also we have one question from Ugne. So she asked, let's say, a bit out of topic and too personal question. Do you have any recommendations where to go to study or to be paid intern or work to gain more experience in IT law field? I have master's degree in law, wrote master thesis in cyber crimes topic. Thank you. So maybe Risto, you are coming from academia, maybe you can help to answer it.
Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to IT law, I would recommend joining for instance, the Tartu University IT law program, which I'm sure Arina can also recommend as a student, former student there. Or there are also some other programs in Estonia. Baltic has some focus on IT law. So these are in Estonia, but of course, part of Estonia, there are many programs now opened up, which are focused on cybersecurity, privacy, and data protection. For instance, Maastricht University recently opened up a master's program that's very much focused on cybersecurity, data protection, and privacy. But from internship, then I would also suggest to look for law firms that are specialized in IT law. For instance, our firm is specialized in IT law. Everybody is welcome to join as an intern if we have that availability. So yeah, but maybe Arina can comment about Latvia.
Yeah, before I will discuss the Latvian situation in a moment, but also regarding the Tartu University, I can wholeheartedly recommend the IT law master's program there. I have graduated from it myself, and the difference with other programs I have researched prior to go to study there is that this program is very hands-on, and also it puts a lot of focus on technical subjects. And I can say now that it has helped me greatly in my work. The understanding of the technical side, it actually has an immense importance, and it makes me really like more comfortable dealing with the matters of IT law, and also dealing with some cases which are hacking related. And so, yeah, probably this is the best program in the region. However, well, we'll see what Martynas will say about Lithuania. But in Latvia, there is one specialized IT law program as well, master's IT law program, which is available in Riga Graduate School of Law. It is more oriented towards law subjects, and it is not as hands-on as Tartu University offers. But I think that it deals pretty well with legal side of things. Regarding other Latvian universities, we have actually at Legal Hackers had a recently discussion involving also basically all the universities who teach law in Latvia. And they only have some, maybe 1 or 2 courses in their curriculum, which is offered to the students, which basically just offer very general overview of what IT law is, and basically that's it at the moment. But Martynas, how things are in Lithuania?
I know. I would like to recommend for Ugne just to join. We have, let's say, on LinkedIn a group of Vilnius Legal Hackers, or on Facebook, and I know, ask the same question, and because most of guys and girls who have studied those programs, they are in those groups, and especially in Estonia Legal Hackers or in Riga Legal Hackers. So you can ask what is the experience of the programs, and you can see, especially in LinkedIn, for example, in Vilnius Legal Hackers LinkedIn group, you can see where people are working at the moment. So maybe you can get like a more better view what is happening. And regarding where to go to work, I think in Lithuania, maybe you could look for companies which has like cybersecurity investigation departments or research departments. So I think there is like the place, because there you can, see all those problems which are existing, especially with disclosure, with the real situation in a cyber world. So maybe it's good to go here to check. Yes, Arina?
I also wanted to add quickly that Risto said correctly that one could search for specialized IT, for IT law, specialized law firms. However, also most big law firms also have technology and or data protection practice groups, and I believe there are internships also available, and you could look at the websites and see if such practice group is indicated there as being active, and then you could contact the relevant people. That also could be one way to go.
I would just add that Tartu University is opening the applications for next year on the 2nd of January, and the deadline, if I'm not mistaken, is sometime in March. So anybody interested should check that. I actually tried to put the link here as well, but I think it didn't work. Anyway, it's on their website, IT Law Program of Tartu University. Very warmly recommended.
Yeah, and
okay,
just
great. So
one more quick addition is I just recalled that one of my course mates in IT law program currently works she also had a master degree in law, and she graduated from IT law program, but she changed careers, and currently she works completely on cybersecurity side of things, and she has joined one of the big 4 companies in Portugal as a cybersecurity analyst. So this is also a possible career route after IT law program.
That's great. Okay, so we have to move to the final remarks because our hour has passed like very quickly. Actually, we had like 40 minutes to discuss, but already we are discussing here 1 hour. And I know that every one of us is looking forward for tonight to celebrate this special day. Of the last day of the year and the beginning of the new year. And I know who wants to say like the final remarks of this discussion. I know, do we have agreement? I know where it's better to start hacking, or I also wanted to add one remark that it's very important to understand that to hack private sector and to hack public sector, so government institutions, is quite different according to the law. So please be careful. And my recommendation before hacking, maybe it's good even just to go to legal hackers and to ask, can you do it or not? Okay, so I know, maybe Risto, you can add some remarks.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of hacking, don't do anything illegal. Be always on the safe side, do the stuff legally. So better to be cautious and not to risk. And look for if you really want to learn about it, and look for exactly communities like the actual ethical hackers, or from the legal point, why not legal hackers, and then look for companies that are actually offering bug bounties for doing the ethical hacking, or platforms like HackerOne, and start from there, I guess. So that's what I would say.
Arina,
so what do you think? What do you want to add?
I think actually Risto beautifully finalized our discussion, and actually do remember that you should be extremely careful, do the only necessary minimum, do no harm, and disclose preferably through in Latvia through CERT.lv, and hack responsibly.
Yeah, hack responsibly. Very good I know, note for the new year. Yeah, hack responsibly. So thank you everyone who have joined our let's say webinar, and thank you Arina, and thank you Risto for joining this event, for your time. And if you have any questions, so you can find us on I know, LinkedIn. You can drop the message for us, and we'll try to answer. And check also your local chapter of Legal Hackers, and I think you will discover quite a lot of interesting events. Everything is free, and yeah, nice community. So have a nice new year and hack responsibly.
Have a nice new year. Bye.